back, and today I'm going to make sweet potato pie. So it's going to basically look like, in the end, like mashed sweet potatoes, which you could also serve it as mashed sweet potatoes, but I'm making it for a sweet potato pie. So I have a couple of sweet potatoes here. I have this one and this one. I only need 2 cups, so I'm thinking that this one will be enough, and I'm hoping it will be. We'll find out. I'm going to take and set this one aside to make something else with. And let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and take the skin off the sweet potatoes, and I'm going to end up cooking this in the microwave oven because to me that'll be the easiest cleanup. And I'm trying to do this easy, but also have it taste really good. So I personally like to use this type of potato peeler. For me, this works the best. There's this type also, and I'm just going to kind of show you. I feel like I have to hold on to it tighter and push harder. So this is my favorite. I have probably every type in the house. When we used to do very big Thanksgivings, I'd have the kids go outside and they would skin all the potatoes, and everybody'd have a potato peeler, and we'd make a ton of potatoes. So I have several of these. Hope everybody's having a good day. Now what you're also going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure you do have a very sharp knife to cut this up. So notice that this is white almost, or almost the color of a regular potato. So this is a sweet potato. And it's not easy, by the way, I have very small hands to hold on to this sweet potato. Might have to just kind of. But since I only need 2 cups, I'm going to make 1 pie today. Since I only need 2 cups, I believe that the 1 large sweet potato is going to work. So let's find out. So after I get all the skin off, I did pre-rinse this potato off in the sink just to make sure there was no, bunch of dirt or something. Okay. Now I'm just going around and looking for little imperfections. So when you make stuff homemade, you can be really picky when you make it yourself, because you won't, if there's something in a can already pre-bought, I don't know how picky they are, because you remember there's a machine doing it. So they even, like when you do cranberry sauce, you're taking out all those rotten cranberries, and who knows, how well does a machine sort them out. Okay. So I think I got, let's see, got a few more little imperfections here. Okay, let's look around. Sweet potatoes are in season for a while too, so you can make a sweet potato pie. Doesn't have to be just for Thanksgiving. Make it just because. Actually, sweet potatoes are very healthy, so it's kind of a healthy one. Okay, so I'm going to go take this to the sink and rinse it off. Okay, so I got rinsed off. I'm just going to cut the very tip off on each side. And what I have here is I have a casserole baking dish that has a lid. So that's what I'm going to cook in the microwave. That's how I'm going to cook it in the microwave. As I said, you need a very sharp knife. It's not easy to cut up a sweet potato. They're very hard. Matter of fact, just holding the sweet potato, because it's so big, my hand's sore already. All right, so here we go. Let's see. We're going to we don't want it in giant pieces. I'll cut it again because it'll just take longer to cook. And the whole idea is we don't want to have it take that long. But you gotta, like I said, have a good cutting board, have a good knife, hold on to the potato, make sure you don't cut yourself, be very careful. If you're a young person doing this recipe, you might want to ask a parent for help, because it's not an easy task to cut up the sweet potato. Or if you just don't feel like you're good at using the knife. See, I'm even having trouble. I'm going to go this way. Maybe I'll figure out something once I get to the middle. what I was saying is if you're not a good person with the knife, maybe have somebody else in the household that's better with the knife. At least cut the sweet potato up for you. I cut it into a more manageable size right there because I don't want to get cut, especially before Thanksgiving. Okay. I've had that happen before. I've had my sister-in-law one time got cut with a food processor on Christmas Day. Those types of things are not good. So I think I should have it like sort of kind of this size. I got it all cut up in basically the size pieces. I'm going to put this all into here. Well, let's just see. Before I do that, let's just do an experiment. Here's a 2-cup measure. Now it's going to compress, of course, once I'm just kind of curious. And if I have leftover, then I'll just make a side dish with the leftover. If I have way too much leftover, I might freeze some for a sweet potato pie another day. So we'll just see how much I end up with. I'm just kind of curious. So it's going over the top. It's definitely going over the top of the 2. So let's see what ends up happening. So I'm going to put this down, and then I'm going to put a little bit of water. I don't want to like bury it in water necessarily, but I want enough that it'll cook pretty well. Okay. So we'll see. I might have to add water. We'll see what happens. I think I'm going to start it cooking it for 10 minutes in the microwave, and then I'll check it and see where we're at, because it doesn't have skin. It's not like a pumpkin where the skin is on there, so it might cook really quick. So we'll find out. And then I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to show you a little trick. We're going to go over to the microwave right now. Okay, so here's my microwave, and I want to show everybody a trick. So this microwave, like most, has a turntable that turns around. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to take the little wheel out, and then I'm going to take and put the glass back in, but I'm going to put it upside down because see that thing that spins? If you can see, I hope everybody can see. That way that's going to spin under there, but it's not going to spin my casserole dish around. So I'm going to put it in, and then I'll show you. Okay, so it's in there. It like barely fits, but it's in there. And I'm going to do 10 minutes to start, and then we'll see where we're at. So, time cook, 10 minutes, and then we'll check it. All right, okay, so it's been 10 minutes. So let's see how far we got in 10 minutes. This is going to be tricky, though. I'm going to actually... I got to go put this on the counter because there's no way I'm testing it inside the microwave. Okay, it's smelling very delicious. Let's see where we're at on this. I'm going to take a fork and stab it with a fork. And it is close, but not quite yet, because it's going to be like when you stab your potatoes, when you're making mashed potatoes, it's got to be that tender, and it's not quite there yet. I'm thinking I do need another 10 minutes, like I originally thought 20 minutes, but I just wanted to double check it. Okay, just wanted to mention this. So when I pull the casserole dish out of the microwave, because the grooves, it's not sitting in the grooves, otherwise it'd be turning. It's kind of, the glass is kind of creeping out. So be very careful when you're removing your casserole dish when doing it this way, that you don't drop that on the floor. So just a little side note on that, depending how your microwave is designed. So just be careful. All right, so let's see where we're at on this now. I think it might be done, and it's been a total of 20 minutes, so let's see. Yep, it's done. So it's to the consistency that it's going to be able to be like mashed potatoes consistency. So what we have to do is we have to have this cool down, though, because my food processor is plastic. It is not glass. So you would not want to put something this scalding hot into your plastic food processor or blender, whatever you have that's going to do this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my potatoes out. I'm going to actually stick them in the lid for now. And then I'm going to See if it'll cool off a little bit quicker that way. Actually, what I should do is put them in a cold bowl. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'll be back just a second. I had another thought. Okay, so I'm going to put them in a bowl that's hasn't been heated up in the microwave. That makes more sense because then it'll cool off way quicker. I'm just going to empty this all out. I think I'm going to save this water just in case I need it to go ahead and blend it. I don't know if I will or not. So I'm going to set this aside and I'll be back shortly when this cools down. Okay, so my potatoes have cooled down. They're a little bit warm, but they're not hot by any means. And now I'm ready to put them into my food processor. I should have got my spoon out at a time. Okay, all right. Now, I don't want to just go ahead and use a potato masher because I really need this to be as smooth as baby food. That's what I'm going for. I don't want any lumps at all in it. Okay. Be interesting to see how much this measures out to be. Okay. And I think I'm going to take just a tad of the water that came out of that container and just kind of pour it in here, but not too much. Just a little. Still have a little bit left here just in case. All right, so now I'm going to put the lid on. It's going to be noisy, warning. And I want it, my setting on this particular blender or food processor, whatever you want to call it, is puree. So that's what I'm going for. I should put it on high, I think, too. Okay, let's take a look at that. I know it's not done for sure, but that's what it's looking like. I think I'm going to add the rest of that water. There's not a whole lot, but just enough just to have a little bit of moisture, just to make it a little bit easier to smooth. Okay, so now I'm going to take a spoon and I'm going to push this down because the bottom part is already smooth, but the top part is not. So I'm just going to kind of push this down to have it so it can get blended better. I might have to do this a few times. I know this machine is awfully loud, but it works well. Okay, this is taking longer than I would like it to take, but it is getting very smooth. So I'm going to do it another time, and we'll probably speed this up, that's for sure. Cut some of this out because I'll tell you when we're done how long that ended up taking. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, now it is very smooth, so that's good. All right, so look at that. So there it is, really smooth, and it was from the time I put in the potatoes and everything was about 6 minutes. So we will definitely cut some of that out so you don't have to watch 6 minutes of blending. But let's take a look at it. I'm going to measure it, and you'll take a look at it while I'm measuring it. That's attached to the counter here. Take the blade out. Now, like I was saying before, what somebody could do is they could add some butter, sour cream, heat it up, and have it like a mashed potatoes. You could bake it possibly, you know, whatever you want to do. But I'm specifically making this one for sweet potato pie. And that's why I need it absolutely smooth. So let's measure, and I certainly hope this is 2 cups. Or I'm going to have to go ahead and get into that other potato that I showed you beginning. So I'll just, you can see how smooth that is. flattening it here. Okay, might actually have a little extra. I was kind of worried I wasn't going to have enough. A little extra is fine because I can make a little tiny side dish, or not sure. It's not enough to do a whole other pie, but enough possibly to do a side dish. Maybe have my granddaughter try this, see if she likes it. I think we gave it to her last year. I don't think she was thrilled, but you never know. All right, so let's see. So I'm gonna look. I can pipe it just a tad more. There's not much. There's like a taste. So we can taste it. And I can tell you what it tastes like, just plain. Okay, so that is, I'm gonna check it on both sides just to make sure. It is 2 cups of sweet potatoes. All right, now, so that's sweet potatoes for sweet potato pie, and I'm gonna taste it and let you know how it tastes plain. Of course, once I add all my sugar and eggs and all the goodies, it's gonna be absolutely delicious. So, but let me just try it plain and see what I think. That is a sweet, sweet potato. It's very delicious. Nice and smooth. Just how I need it for my sweet potato pie. I hope you enjoyed this video. For those of you who subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. And if you don't subscribe, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Please like this video. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.